Hi, my name is Chuck Blevins. I'm the Director of Diagnostic Imaging for the Memorial Health System. Here today to talk about a scenario which was developed as a scenario, but actually really happened to us last year. It was a shortage of contrast material for our radiology procedures. The issue that came up is there are only two companies nationwide that actually produce barium, which we use for barium swallows, upper GIs, barium enemas. It's just a contrast material that when in the small intestines, large intestines, stomach, esophagus, just enhances so we can see any issues, narrowing, different kind of things. So one of the two companies actually quit producing barium. So the first thing we tried to do is identify where the problem was. Okay, we have one of two companies that are there. Lucky for us, the company we normally purchase from was the one that was still, staying in business. So, which kept us kind of on a priority list, but that was the first thing to contact them and say, hey, if other people are going to be buying, are you going to take care of your original customers first? And the answer was yes. Even at that, it was with a kind of a minimum supply. So once we identified the problem, where it was, that the next thing was to reach out to our purchasing department as well, just to make sure what we had in stock, what we had coming, how much more could we order without shorting everybody else that orders from this company, but just to try to be prepared. We also contacted the other groups in our purchasing group, which is 8 hospitals, just around the Mid-Ohio Valley, actually just regionally in Ohio, just to see who had what in case we got to the point where somebody could share if we needed. So once we determined where the problem was, what the supplies were, the next thing was to notify our physicians, to let them know that there would be a shortage and that we probably would have to kind of prioritize the patients and really kind of conserve on what we had until we got through the process, which, for us, the priority would be our inpatients first, so we would get them in, have their tests done so we could possibly discharge them, get them home, versus patients that are, outpatient on the outpatient basis that are sent in. So once we eliminated, not eliminated, kind of discovered it, spoke with the physicians, we put that plan in place and we followed it for as long as we could. Now, luckily, luckily for us, the process ended before we became dangerously low. We started to get low and we were having to put a lot of people off, but we never actually ran out. We came really close. So what happened was, they finally figured out whatever it was. It was the I don't know if it was a burner, whatever it was at the other manufacturer. They got it repaired, they got it back up, and we were running, kind of coming off with that. So once they started, it took it a while, but we finally came back. With this whole delay, what we discovered was, it was just an impact in business as far as our customers on both sides, the patient and the physicians, but communication for us was the biggest key to try to stay ahead of what was coming, by letting everybody know, to try to create a list to follow, just so everybody was informed, not to sound cliche, but proactive instead of reactive, so everyone knew what was coming before it actually hit. So that way, when we did start to prioritize the patients and list, the physicians weren't ringing, calling us, complaining, ringing the phones off the hook, because they understood what was coming. They knew to be a little bit selective in what type of exam they could order. If there was another alternative, they used that. So I think with that said, our purchasing group, our other hospitals that we share communications with throughout the state, the physicians, our employees, everyone knew, they understood, they worked together, came up with a plan, and we made it through.